Oh, man. We got to talk about Jasmine Crockett once again today because she went on to the Breakfast Club and let's just say she said something that we shouldn't necessarily be too surprised by because I believe just about everybody in the Democrat Party feels this way. But it still is pretty crazy. And
you think a lot of
maybe Kash Patel should investigate this, you know? I'm just saying, you know. Y'all can let me know what you think, though. With that being said, let's dive in.
Y'all not mad at this African man?
But let me ask you a question. You think a lot of the stuff that Trump is doing now is to quiet that? Is we possibly gonna give you guys $5,000
as a distraction.
We possibly gonna take the congestion prices, say hello to the king. You think he's doing those things to say, you know what? All the rest of that stuff, these people won't even check me because they think I'm doing this.
That's exactly right. He knows that they're not going to check him, right? Like, I mean, you can go back and play the clips of him talking about how he loves the uneducated, right? If he would ever run for president, he would run as a Republican. Like, and we know, like, this isn't me trying to throw shade. These are just the facts. Mm-hmm. When you look at who's voting for who, the less educated folk, and when I say educated, I'm not even talking about formal education. I'm talking about people that literally don't want to read and enlighten themselves on facts. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that typically vote for the Republicans, and it's one of the reasons that we have to stop writing in theses as Democrats, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we want to give you every single little detail that we can find so that you can have all the information. But the reality is that the average person that is going out there and voting, they're not paying attention to that. And we fail to realize how selfish people are. Mm-hmm. People go out and they vote in their own self-interest, right? And so you had all these racists that showed up and decided that they were going to vote for the other races because they thought, hey, we are all the same. But the reality is that he is a rich racist, okay? Mm.
And so I'm racist? Explain that one. In half the country is racist? America? You know, the same America that elected a guy, what was his name? Barack Obama? Yeah, that black guy. You know, the same country that didn't elect him once, but twice he turned out. That country is racist? Make that make sense. You can't. And I rest my case.
So when he decided that he was going to look out for somebody, it was only going to be other rich white guys, not the rest of y'all. So as you're losing your job, as you're losing your Medicaid, as you're losing your farm, you're feeling away because you're like, wait a minute, you were supposed to go after the others, not come after us. Mm-hmm. And now they're saying, oh, well, we'll give you a $5,000 check. I don't see it happening right now. That is not a part of the budget that they have proposed. That is for sure. So they just had a markup. So this is the first that they're ever talking about this. The budget that they proposed, where they went through a 13-hour markup just the other day, proposed getting rid of Medicare. So, I mean, theoretically, they should have the money if you decide that people won't have health care.
Blatantly lying. But that's, of course, what we're used to from Democrats. She's just blatantly lying. And the crazy part is anybody could just look up this stuff. That's the crazy part. But she knows that most people aren't going to look this stuff up themselves. So she feels comfortable, and all Democrats feel comfortable just blatantly lying to folks.
Care of this country, which costs a little bit more than $5,000 a person. But the reality is that they're not going to do that.
It's so interesting. I said that 18 months after he got sworn in, I felt like, the economy was just going to be in the toilet. And I felt like that's what they were going to do. Like they were going to do either the tax credits or the stimulus checks just to pacify all of the people that's going to be out in the street complaining. I mean, you got 12,000 federal workers already fired, and it hasn't even been a month?
No. I mean, what's today? The 19th? He swore in January 20th. So, yeah, we are, and what I need people to understand is that $5,000, even if you get it, is not going very far because we are headed to a recession.
That's
right.
That
is the bottom line. People talked about how terrible the economy was, and that was more so like things were expensive, but people were absolutely able to still enjoy all these plane rides because every time I caught a flight.
Hold on. And also, do y'all remember when Barack Obama was talking about Trump's economy? And he was saying that Trump inherited his economy. So let me get this right. Trump inherited Obama's economy, but Trump didn't inherit Biden's economy? It's all Trump's fault now? But Obama said that was Obama's economy that Trump inherited. So shouldn't it be the same now? This is Biden's economy that Trump inherited. So that's why things are still expensive? Of course not. It's a double standard. It's a double standard with Democrats. Of course, of course.
It was absolutely packed, right? And so, yes, it was expensive, but you could pay for it. You're going to end up in a situation where you're not going to be able to afford the food. Right now, you're getting rid of the people that labor in the fields, right? Because here's the reality. When you look back at the history of this country, they have always relied on some person of color to labor. That is why they needed slave labor, right? Like, we were the ones that they took onto the plantations to work the fields. And so we know that we have so many immigrants that come into this country, and their only thing that they're looking.
So you're advocating for more slave labor? Really? You think that's the solution? More slave labor? Yeah, we want to take advantage of more people and pay them very, very low wages under the table so they can get me my groceries for dirt cheap. You're advocating for more slavery? I guess this is, once again, that's not surprising coming from the Democrat Party, the originators of slavery. Not shocking.
For is a way to survive. And so they will work for the pennies that is paid to actually work the farms, and that keeps the cost of our food down. But when they send their money home, it goes a long way. And so their family is able to live a better life than they would have been able to live if they were still there, where they didn't have the job opportunities, right? But these are also the people that are building our houses. As you're complaining about the cost of homes, now we have another input cost that's about to go up because, listen, these people aren't showing up. I just talked to contractors down in Atlanta, Georgia. They talked about the fact that their workers are not showing up to work because they are concerned about whether or not they are going to come and try to take them away. And this is even if you are a citizen, because ICE is so ignorant. They rounding up everybody. They rounding up Puerto Ricans. They are Americans, right? They are rounding up.
Once again, another lie, blatantly lying. What Americans are being rounded up? And you know it's a lie because if the ICE had been deporting actual American citizens, Democrats will be screaming from the mountaintops, this person is actually an American citizen and ICE deported them, blah, blah, blah. We all know this. So just blatantly lying about it.
Native Americans, they are the most American that you can find, right? Like, they are rounding up everybody. So people of color are like, yo, I am not even going to work, right? So now you're talking about costs going up, but you're also talking about less people working. The United States is the 15th largest employer in the entire world, right? So now they're like, oh yeah, all those people we're firing, they can just go to private industry.
Good. We shouldn't be the 15th largest employer in the world. I'm just saying. Save some money. Fire all those folks. All of them.
Jobs don't exist. And private industry is signaling that they know that the recession is coming. Southwest has never done a layoff like what they did in the entire existence of Southwest, and they just cut 15% of their workforce. So we're seeing where private industry is starting to collapse and starting to actually reduce their workforce instead of increase it. So where are these people going to go? And people don't realize how many organizations, private or otherwise, rely on federal dollars in some way. And now you're saying we're going to take those federal dollars out, but we're not putting them back.
Hold on. Why are all these companies relying on federal dollars? Ain't that what she just said?
Their workforce instead of increase it. So where are these people going to go? And people don't realize how many organizations, private or otherwise, rely on federal dollars in some way.
Why? Why do I have to pay for some organization, private or otherwise, that I don't agree with? Why? Figure it out on your own. Sink or swim. Like, why should I have to pay for that? Why should I have to care? I don't. So if you can't survive on your own without federal tax dollars being sent your way, then maybe you shouldn't be open for business. I'm just saying. Even if we're talking about, organizations that may be helping folks, right? There's donations. Maybe you shouldn't pay your executives exorbitant numbers, salaries to work at your place of business. Just saying. Like, there are plenty of people in this country that are willing to donate to organizations to make a difference. So you can't tell me that these organizations can't survive off donations. The thing is, they've gotten so used to paying executives these bloated salaries of $200,000+, which is why I say the homeless crisis will never be ended until we stop paying people to help end it. When you pay people to help end a crisis, that creates a conflict of interest, whether subconsciously or just flat out blatantly, right? Well, if I solve the problem, I'm not gonna have a job. Duh. Just like it just doesn't make any sense. So until you end paying people to help people, people aren't actually gonna be helped. You gotta do it just for the love of doing it. That's what I feel. But maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know.
And now you're saying we're going to take those federal dollars out, but we're not putting them back into people's pockets. We're putting them into the pockets of my friends. So now Elon is going to get more money. Now I'm going to figure out how to serve myself, because he also told his Department of Justice, do not enforce the marijuana laws, right, on the books. Do not enforce the fact that there's this disparity between crack and cocaine on the federal level, but do not enforce foreign influence laws.
Hold on. Wait. Did y'all catch what she said?
Books. Do not enforce the fact that there's this disparity between crack and cocaine on the federal level.
Oh, did she say anything to Joe Biden about that? I think not. So shut the hell up. Like, this is an absolute joke at this point. This is a joke. She said nothing when Joe Biden and Kamala were in office. But now all of a sudden, all this stuff is this is all Trump's fault. This is all Trump. Come on now, bro. Stop it with the nonsense.
But do not enforce foreign influence laws. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I had nobody from the hood get caught up because they were engaged in some kind of foreign influence.
That's a fact.
I mean, so who is it that typically gets caught up? It's people with access. And so now basically he's signaling to all of these people that have tried to corrupt our government, come on through, drop off a bag. In fact, y'all just had a senator nearby that just went down. They just gave Menendez 11 years for the exact thing that he's telling his Department of Justice.
Oh, you mean a Democrat? Yeah. You failed to mention that. A Democrat.
Do not enforce this. That's where we are.
How do you feel about that? Because, it seems like if you're cool with Trump, you get a pardon. If you're cool with Trump, he'll tell you don't prosecute him. Recently, we've seen Eric Adams not being prosecuted. What's your thoughts on that?
If you're cool with Trump, you get paid.
That's a lie.
Listen, my thought is that I'm still black.
That's a lie. I mean, I'm not exactly cool with Trump. I don't know. I've never met Trump personally, but I advocate for Trump, and I ain't got no check from Trump. Where is that? Show me, please.
Back in America, and I ain't finna play no kind of games.
Word.
So I am gonna walk the straight and narrow for a number of reasons. Number one, I have some morals about myself, and number two, I know that they would love an opportunity to lock me up, right? Like, I would be the exception to the rule. But you're absolutely right. I mean, Canada has really been the one to call it out. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild. But they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now. They can see what it is, and they were like,
you're rooting for Canada and Mexico. Yep. That tells you everything you need to know about the Democrat Party and Jasmine Crockett. A sitting member in the House just said that she's rooting for Canada and Mexico. This is allegedly one of Democrats' top nominees to run in 28. Just said she's rooting for Canada and Mexico. Now, let's all make sure that we remember this clip. Because if Democrats do try to throw, I don't believe she would win anyway, against J.D. Vance or Byron or Vivek or Candace Owens or anybody else. That would be some fireworks to see though. Candace Owens would obliterate this woman right here. But anyway, if they do try to push her out there, that clip needs to run on repeat. On repeat. I'm rooting for Canada and Mexico. As a sitting member in the House, in the United States government, I'm rooting for two other countries. Wow. Crazy. But that's the Democrat Party for you, man. That's why I said it's crazy to hear, but it's not completely shocking to hear because it's like you just expect this from the Democrat Party. I don't believe the Democrat Party loves America truly. They always accuse Trump and Republicans of being all about self, but I think Democrats are all about self. They were all about self. I mean, here's an example. Look at North Carolina. Look at Western North Carolina. It took President Trump to get in office before those people truly got the help that they needed. Why is that? And I said this before the election. I was thinking maybe it would affect the way that North Carolina voted. Because I was like, man, they aren't giving these folks any help. I mean, look at all these red counties that were just absolutely obliterated. It's all red and like one blue dot. And they're just leaving them high and dry, just stranded. Because they know they weren't going to vote for them. It didn't benefit them to help those people. So they didn't. That's what I felt, and a lot of y'all agreed. Democrat Party is all about self. It's not the Republican Party. As soon as Trump got in office, he didn't care who was there. Hey, we're gonna go help these folks. We're gonna make sure these folks got assistance. Kentucky, there was an area that recently flooded in Kentucky, and he made sure instantly those people got the help that they needed. He didn't brag about it, didn't make big news about it, but they got assistance. That wasn't happening under Democrats' leadership. Just saying. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think about all this, man. Peace and love. I'm out.